I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Red Mist Podcast. On tonight's episode, we'll discuss NASCAR at Texas. Yippee-ki-yay, mother... F1 at Singapore.
Whoa, there's a giant lizard on the track.
And general racing tidbits. Nate, let's start with NASCAR and the Demolition Derby at Texas World Speedway. 500 miles of just pure...
I got a new name for Texas Motor Speedway. It's Tex Ass. That race
it's good for IndyCar.
Horrible.
It's fine for IndyCar.
But is it though?
Yes.
There's no passing.
Well,
there's no passing.
The race goes by quicker.
Okay, there's no passing at Iowa.
And they have a doubleheader weekend of that. I'm not.
Right.
I mean, comparing apples to oranges.
Instead of the 500 miles, they should just change it to the 6 hours of Texas World Speedway or whatever it is. Because it literally took 6 hours to finish that race.
Yeah,
it did. It took forever, and they were driving around in circles. So
I know, and
and Brad Keselowski didn't win from pole. So I'm just extra
shocked.
I'm just extra annoyed. So
I mean,
there's one pole this season, and now he's.
I was shocked that there were guys driving into one another.
I mean,
Denny Hamlin and Will Byron getting into it. Yeah.
Well, on that note, you could pretty much. You can what, shoot to kill in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So
pretty much. You know what? It was like open warfare on the racetrack. It was horrendous.
They should have done some jousting after the race and take the guns from Tyler Reddick and give one to Denny Hamlin and one to William Byron. And
they could have had a duel.
The Wild Wild West.
They had a duel in the pit lane.
Yeah, Texas duels.
Why
don't we do that?
Yeah, a duel in the pit lane. That would have solved that whole thing.
That would have been a sold out race.
Yeah. I mean, outside in all seriousness, I mean there were a couple bizarro crashes that were really hard hits.
Yeah.
Cody Ware especially.
Well, Cody Ware, we'll get to that one in a second, but I mean Chase Elliott's just driving along, and all of a sudden, whoop, out goes the rear end.
Yeah. Kevin Harvick while leading.
Yeah.
The tire just goes down.
And then Cody Ware comes like down the pit lane like completely like I had no idea what was going on. Like I just saw him like car was banged up and like obviously I think he was a bit knocked out. They never said anything. I mean, other than he had a really bad ankle injury or he didn't have a fracture or anything, but a pretty swollen ankle.
Pretty bruised, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if they ever, and I don't recall ever seeing how he crashed and then ended up in the pit lane. Did they ever show that?
To be honest, I turned on the TV like when Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football started. I wasn't around for the first.
I think the Sunday Night Football game ended before the NASCAR race.
No.
All right.
It was close though. Yeah. Not quite though.
So did they ever show it, Nate?
Well, there was onboard, so it looked like he had a tire go down, and then he overcorrected and went into the wall.
I mean, which is, and then Chase Elliott goes down, and like they're all like, like it's like not a tire issue, and they're like, the crack NBC announces except for Dale Jr. Well, the tire's still got air in it. And, like, Junior's just sitting there not saying anything. And they keep, like, and then, like, they throw it down to the pit lane after Chase Elliott gets out of the infield care center. So, what happened? It doesn't look like it was a tire issue. Oh, no, the tire went down. Oh, well, it didn't look like it on TV. I'm like, can you guys just, like, stop speculating?
I know. And it's bad, too. Like, they're wearing glasses, too, looking at this, like, looking into it. Like, tires down. Flat tire.
Well,
No,
it looks like it's holding
flat
air,
tire,
and the
no.
car's sitting in like 4 feet of grass. Like, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
And it hit the wall, so like, I mean,
Tire's on
like
fire, too,
obviously the
so-
rear end's like knocked out of whack. I mean, and then Chase Elliott just goes, "No, tire went down," and he's like looking at him like, and I got nothing else to say. And it was like the best interview I've ever seen. It was awesome. It's just, oh God. Anyways,
Well, I mean, those Goodyear tires snatched a couple of people. It wasn't just those.
well, I don't think
there was
it's-
7 drivers.
I'm going to go this way,
Kyle
Nate.
Busch.
I don't think it's the tires. I think these guys are really pushing it with the settings on the cars.
Really, you don't.
Do you
you
think-
don't
do you
think
think it
Goodyear's
could just-
like,
do you
hey,
think-
this is a boring race, so
No.
maybe
They're really
let's see
they're
if we
pushing
can make it
they're-
extra exciting.
They're pushing it with these cars. They're trying to really.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think it's just an effect from the new generation of cars?
It is.
Yeah.
But these
It
guys
is.
are like I mean, the engineers and stuff are pushing the envelope in terms of caster, camber, all that stuff
right.
on the suspension settings to get the cars to bite and I don't think the cars were. I mean, let's put it this way. This is the one thing I like about, at least on the NASCAR side, I like about NASCAR. At least the engineers will push it until they can, they'll go over the limit
Yeah.
in terms of cheating, optimizing.
I
Sorry,
think I think
didn't
it's
say cheating. It was optimizing.
I think you only see engineers going like you see the cheating because the boxes are so tight and
That's
they're so confined.
yeah, they have to
'Cause
optimize as much as they can.
It's not like any
Right.
It's not like other series where there is a bit of wiggle room of
Right.
what you can do. Like that. Like
Yeah, well, the same IndyCar, except for the dampers, they do the same thing. They're always pushing the limits. So
Right.
I think that's what's going on. Except I don't think and I think what's happening, I just don't think they can, the correlation or the feedback from the drivers, as the runs go on, I just don't think there's enough, they just don't know enough. The drivers don't know enough. And it's not their fault because this is like the first year with these cars.
no, but also how many long runs do you have in NASCAR? Because every 5 laps you have a caution.
Well, that's true.
Right, there's no
can't
data.
figure out what it is.
Well,
at the end
outside
of stage one, this is what they look like.
Right.
No. Yeah, but yeah. See, that's the other thing. The stage racing kills it because
You don't know
you
what
don't
the
know
tire
what's
is.
going. So these guys, like, I just think that they're
Yeah.
just. I think, and the drivers just don't have enough feedback right now on
No,
what the car is
no.
doing. And
Like I'm curious on Ricky Stenhouse's feedback. Like, just hey, the car's it's crashed. So what do you think?
well, there were a couple guys that went up the track like during the race, like just all of a sudden, whoop, went up to the wall and came back down. Like Carl Lawson did it like twice.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think some of it is just the grip on that high line. You just there was nothing else.
You're right. But
No.
I mean, there's just. I think these guys are really trying to make these cars like handle, and I think it's just they just haven't. Yeah, I think you're right, Christian. You don't get enough long runs.
No, you're going into an area of unknown because you don't have data. To
I
sift
guarantee
through.
you, if they didn't have the stage racing, there wouldn't be this many crashes.
Well, there was one
Because-
issue that they had. I agree with you because they already had a nightmarish Brickyard 400 where there was like 10 tire failures, and Jimmy Johnson ended up winning this one. I forget what year it is.
Yeah, but Nate,
I can tell you.
I'm talking with the Gen 3 cars. I'm not going back. We're past the old period. We're into this
Yeah.
new era of cars.
Yeah.
And I think the
This new stage of
I just
racing.
think the engineers are now trying to really, there's not much they can play with aero wise.
No.
There's not much to play.
Right. So
In any way.
so where that leaves you is within the suspension that you can
Right.
play. So that's what they're doing. Whether it's you're loading something up on the left front and the right rear, it's that, that opposite effect. And they just, I think, because they just don't get, like Christian, like you said, they don't get any test mileage. They don't get any mileage.
No, which
There's no mileage in practice because there is no practice.
which is
Right.
fine. Which
No data.
from a show aspect is okay because you have all this unpredictability, but from a cost perspective on the teams, you're wrecking cars.
Right. But if you go and have a 20-minute practice session, what's that teach you? Nothing. They go, like, are they literally rolling off the truck and going qualifying? Because I don't even watch the NASCAR weekend anymore. It's just, like, painful.
That's what they.
Oh yeah, there's no practice.
There's no practice. Because there used to be two practice.
They're still continuing with
There
that.
used to be, like, a practice session on Friday.
Right,
And then there was like
and then
then
when
there
COVID
was,
hit, they shortened everything up just to go racing.
And then they decided, oh well, we can save costs that way. But
Right.
what they're doing is no one's getting any time in these cars, so you can't figure out what's going on.
And imagine being a rookie, like just
it's
just here, get in and no training.
You know what, Nate?
Drive it.
This year, everyone's a rookie this year with this car.
Yeah,
seriously.
Much. Yeah, true.
I mean, I get why some of the stuff, like I Harvick's agree. Some of that stuff is some of these parts are like crap, but some of this, some of the cars just jumping out of line. It's all,
Or just catch on fire.
Well, that's the crap parts. But I'm just talking the tire failures and stuff that they're having. I think Christian's right. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that guys can't get out and run time, run any mileage. You don't know what's going on. There's no data.
Yeah, it's not the way to do it.
It's not the way to do it.
At least happy hour.
Well, it doesn't. Yeah. Well, Nate, you got to have practice through the weekend. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I agree 100%.
Like one practice session after qualifying isn't going to solve it.
I have a league on iRacing, and I give an hour. You know what I mean? Like there's practice to know the track.
Right. Well,
but NASCAR just doesn't even.
That's iRacing, and that's fine.
The only.
I mean, these guys. I mean, the amount of money that's being spent in the amount of money that's being spent in the sport, like, and you can't even practice. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have all this like time that you could use, and data collected.
That's the whole thing. Christian's right.
All right. What else happened to this race other than more crashing?
Tyler Reddick won. Congrats to him. He's starting to be my new favorite driver.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Third race win at the season.
Third race of the win. He's got 2 on the road course and one on in the oval. One of the big ovals. But I like him.
But he's
not a big fan of his move to go to 23. What are they? 2311. What are they?
Is that confirmed?
Yes. He's going to 2311. Kyle Busch is taking the 8 car next year, and Tyler's going to drive the 08 or something at Childress.
Maybe 18, right?
No, he's going to drive Childress. 18 stays at Gibbs because Grandpa Joe's going to put Ty in. So,
speaking of which, not a fan of him with his pit road thing he did.
Who?
Ty Gibbs.
I don't. Oh, yeah, you guys want to? Yeah,
Ty Dillon left pit road and hit Ty Gibbs, and then Ty Gibbs just took left and brought him almost to eliminate a whole pit crew.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Now, did Grandpa Childress and Grandpa Gibbs get together outside the paddock and talk about it? Just checking.
Probably some whiskey was involved.
No, there was probably some gunplay, possibly. But
pow.
Anyways,
how does it go, Sean?
It's my best 6-shooter. Anyways.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. No, that was interesting. I'm starting to really Tyler Reddick's starting to be my new favorite guy. Kind of like him.
So does that mean you're going to watch more of the NASCAR playoffs?
No.
Yeah, he's going to wear a Tyler Reddick shirt.
No, the next year. And the only reason I ended up watching this race was I was on a plane, and this was after the Patriots lost, the golf finished.
I know.
And then it was like, oh, well, I did.
And you had something in between.
Well,
in between the golf
NASCAR.
finishing,
it was like
Sunday night
the
football.
4:00 games. I know I should have probably watched Brady and Rogers, but I decided I'll watch the NASCAR race. Oh boy. Anyways, so I get off the plane and I get home like an hour later and it's still on. I was like, wow.
Yeah, enough to enjoy a whole flight and come home and the race is still on.
That's where you're getting your bang for your buck because you spend way more time on track for the amount of money you're spending. But you're just doing parade laps at that point. So
that's all caution laps.
That's why it's an endurance race in NASCAR. Yeah. So we had Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano, Justin Haley, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, good weekend. He really did have a good weekend.
He won Texas early in the year when they had the All-Star race. Mm-hmm. That was almost a complete BS
count for
finish.
Anything?
The All-Star?
$1 million in his pocket,
that's
that's
what I'm saying. It's $1 million in his pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then we had Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, Will Byron, and Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, and Denny Hamlin. That was our top 10.
Do you like William Byron?
I like William Byron, but I didn't particularly think the payback on Denny was appropriate.
That was weak.
It was on the caution flag, and it was just he basically ran him over.
Yeah.
If you're going to get payback, get out of the car and throw hands and be real mad.
Yeah,
That was
fight.
And because what was it?
Did
It was
you guys
Gordon
see on-
Keselowski that
No, but did you see on Twitter, like earlier in the week, there was a late model race somewhere, and there was a guy. There was something happened, and the guy went through the net and was punching the other guy. It was, I saw that. That was
I did
classic
see that.
NASCAR. Oh, the
I saw that on
the
Twitter,
incident
yeah.
you're alluding to.
Yeah.
That was was it Gordon Keselowski?
yeah.
No, yeah.
This was back in
Was
like
it?
2014 or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best part of it was
Best part
was
what is it,
Harvick
Sean?
was
Yeah,
Harvick pushing
pushed him into him, and that's how Gordon got a hand on him.
He's like, come here. He's like,
Yeah.
all for
got
that.
him.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm all
that
for
was,
that.
that was
I'm all for
That
that.
was the
I'm not the
best
biggest
part.
Kevin Harvick fan, but that
Yeah.
kind of
No,
turned
and
the
I-
tide a little bit.
No, listen, I was just like, look, I'm a Keselowski fan, but I was like, Harvick did the right thing here.
Yeah, it's like the only other person that was like any fun to watch was Tony Stewart
Yeah.
because it was like
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
People hate him, but I love him. He's like it's like a modern day AJ Foyt. It's like and he'll
Oh my
literally
God,
throw the
for real.
helmet.
Yeah, Kenseth, he did at Bristol one time.
Did he also throw? Was it Tony that also threw the heat shields off his shoes? They have the heat shield that goes on there around the bottom of the foot throttle pedal. I mean the throttle foot. And I think he threw those too.
Oh.
I mean, not that they're going to do anything, but
I know Ward Burton did that one time to Dale
what
Jr.
button? What button?
What
What button? What button?
Jeff Burton, someone asked him,
Why they
how
talk?
come he has
Why they talk
why
so
does it-
differently?
Yeah. And you know what he answered? He said, oh, Ward grew up on the southern part of the house.
They both grew up in South Boston, Virginia.
Yeah, I know. It was just a joke.
I know, but I can't.
But-
And also, Ward Burton is
A Daytona 500 winner.
5'9", 5'10", maybe my height,
Yeah.
5'11". Jeff Burton's like 6'2".
Jeez.
Do they get the same parents?
What do you mean? Yeah, you can have the same parents.
No, because Jeff Burton's got. Doesn't Jeff Burton have red hair too?
Don't you know how genetics works?
Well, we're south of the Mason-Dixon line. I know that.
Yeah.
All right, I think it's time to
Anyways,
move on to
moving
F1.
Oh, my God.
Ward Burton. That's good. We had some Ward Burton talk.
Yeah, I like Ward Burton.
He drove the Caterpillar car. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And-
Bill Davis Racing.
So
Yeah.
That's back in the day when I watched NASCAR, and they used to go the.
Hey, I watched it too.
Yep. All right, so just real quick on the standings. My favorite, Joey
what,
Logano.
what does this matter?
You said,
What does this matter?
Oh, we're just giving an update to
Who cares?
our thousands of listeners.
Playoffs don't matter.
No, but
Skip it.
they matter, but don't matter.
I just want to. I do want to point something out. Mr. Worldwide Trackhouse Racing has
They're continuing.
both cars inside the cut line,
I know.
and the unfortunate. Do they go to Homestead? Is that the second to
in the
last
next-
race?
Yeah.
Trackhouse has to go 1-2 there, because if they go 1-2 there,
Miami.
I think Helio may climb the fence too.
Yeah. So look, I mean, they just got to do. Look, I think Ross Chastain's going to win a Talladega again.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm
Coming
really
up.
kind of see. I got 2 races now. I got to really look forward to the Roval.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Roval.
No, I don't know what the schedule is.
Because the Dinger's
Talladega, then the
no,
Roval.
the Roval's going to be good because the Dinger's coming back and the Dinger will win there.
Yeah.
I'm a Dinger will win that race.
And the Roval's a cutoff race, so
Oh, is it? Oh, yes. So I'm
Yeah.
any non guy that can come in and run good on the ovals, like Cody Ware could have a good race there.
Cody Ware could have a great race. He had a great
hopefully his
race 2 years
hopefully his
ago.
ankle will be all right.
Yeah.
But now, Homestead. If Trackhouse is in, that's gonna be awesome. Mr. Worldwide going nuts down in the pit lane.
No, he'll literally go to Phoenix.
And if
from the
anyone doesn't know
championship.
who Mr. Worldwide is, it's Pitbull.
Yeah.
It's Nathan Lavender.
Okay.
Okay, no, it's Pitbull. what's the area code
Mr.
down there?
Man.
What's the
Mr.
area
Penske
code? What's
was
the area code?
at my house this morning and he said,
Mr. 305 checking in.
he said he
Is it
didn't
305? Is that what Miami is? Or is
Yeah.
it, what's it for?
I think that's the
I love
area
it.
code.
I love it. I love it. I hope they have Helio down in the pits though. That'd be fun. That'd be so much fun. Helio and Mr. and Pitbull going nuts. That'd be awesome. So, all right. So
speaking of Helio.
Speaking of Helio, anyway, so let's move on to Formula One. We're off to Singapore, and welcome back, Singapore. Very excited for this race. I like it. I like the track. I think that would be a bucket list trip to go to.
Yeah, Marina Bay is definitely.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. So, hopefully we won't have a. Hey, there's a giant lizard on the track.
Lizard, what? There's been other stuff that I think has crawled across that track.
Well,
right?
when a 6-foot Komodo dragon goes across the track, I'm still questioning what that was doing in the city. So, I mean, did it escape from a restaurant?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, good Lord. It was huge. I still like Max's comment on that.
Yeah.
There's a giant lizard on the track.
That giant lizard was sifting through the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
in the back of the restaurants.
But he came through something to get on the track, and then he went through something to get off the track.
And he was he came from the left side of the track, which is actually the inside part of the track.
Is that so that'd be the city part of the track?
That would be where he was
in
basically
back of the paddock area
to the back right of pit entry. Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine that running down pit road, all the garages
my God, that
immediately.
Oh, that was still one of the best moments ever. But I like the track.
Yeah.
I like the track.
There's been no word on whether Albon's gonna
No,
be
nothing
here.
yet.
So
No, I think Nick's still on
watch.
on watch, yeah.
Well, and on the
honestly,
watch, the sign for next year.
You know, that appendix is not. It's not an easy thing.
And that's why I said, because I mean, if it was any other race on the calendar,
Yeah.
I would believe a comeback, but with Singapore being as tough as it is, I would hold out.
I would say
race
Singapore, any road course, any street course, or like Monaco, definitely not. You wouldn't want to. No.
Oh,
I mean, and considering the severity of what went on in the operating room.
I heard he just had.
He almost went
an
into
issue and whatever.
Yeah, he almost went into cardiac arrest.
I
No
didn't
way.
hear that.
Yeah.
So I just heard he had an issue afterwards, but he was okay.
That'll teach you. Get mid-flighted across the border somewhere to Switzerland.
Yeah.
Anyways, no bueno at the Italian hospitals.
All
So nothing there on that.
It looks like it's gonna rain.
Oh, well, that's surprising because
Yeah.
it is that time of season over there. I think, look, Max is now in point gathering mode.
Yeah,
if he
can lose out
if the
and
car
still win.
if the car is definitely quick, I say he goes for the win.
Mm-hmm.
If the car is not as quick, I think the Ferrari is going to be quick here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling. I don't think the Mercedes, because this track's kind of bumpy, so I think the Mercedes will struggle a little bit more here than the last two races.
And just based off prior history, it hasn't really been a track that they've been overwhelming dominant.
Yeah, this is even when they were dominant. This
right.
was a tough track for them.
Yeah.
So, that's just kind of a general thought on that. Who knows what could go on? I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be a good track for the Williams.
Oh God, no.
No. They're going to be the last car.
That's why everyone else in between.
The Alpine could potentially do well here.
Like Alonso.
Yeah,
because it's just got enough.
Pole.
It's got enough grunt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What was the last?
Case in point, at Baku they were good.
Yeah. And
I mean, I know they got the 5 miles.
Right, I was
exaggerating. They got the 2
gonna
miles
say-
straight.
yeah,
but
I was gonna
but the
say
rest of the
it's
way
a
around the
different-
track, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The car was good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
yeah, they could be.
but
Right. So then, who are you going for?
I'm gonna go Carlos Sainz,
King of Spain.
King of Spain,
smooth operator.
smooth operator.
Who are you gonna round out the podium?
I'm gonna go Max Leclerc,
Okay.
or it could go Leclerc Max, but I'm gonna go Max Leclerc.
And a dark horse.
Dark horse, I will go Fred.
Okay. Nate, who you got?
Well, you know what happened when Sebastian Vettel got his 2019 victory at Singapore?
When he
When
basically
Charles Leclerc.
when he stuck it to Charles Leclerc. That was pretty
Right.
cool.
Right, and got his final. Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
I know
Anyways,
this season's not over
go
yet,
on.
but final win in F1.
Yeah, his last. Yeah.
I think something very similar is going to happen. I just see Charles Leclerc get up, and he's holding Max up, and Carlos is just going, and they're going to do the pit stop, and then Carlos Sainz is all after pit stops, all of a sudden the leader. So I really think that. See, this is where I have difficulty, though. I really see Fernando Alonso really showing up at this race, because this is going to be a track where a seasoned veteran rises up.
Mm-hmm.
But look at it this way, too. I know Max Verstappen is in points gathering mode, but this is also kind of a Checo kind of track, too. I haven't really given up on another victory for Sergio Perez. A second win has to be in the books somewhere. It can't be just Monaco and that's it.
So Sergio's
Can
Sergio's next win is going to be at Mexico.
It's going to be in Mexico, Nate.
I know, but
It's going to be.
I know, but
it's
I don't
gonna,
know.
It's going to be in Mexico after Max sews up the title. Okay, so
yeah, wraps it up.
All right, so
I know.
All right,
I'm
so
just
Nate,
like,
let's.
I want to believe. I don't
all
want to
right.
believe.
All right,
But
Nate,
all
come
right,
on.
Long story short, I think you're going to see. I don't know, lots of things, moving parts of my brain, but I'll just go with Max Verstappen's going to win, Carlos Sainz, and Checo will round up the podium.
And your dark horse.
It has to be Fernando Alonso.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
We got two Freds.
All right.
Two
So
for Fred.
to save everyone else's time, I'm going Leclerc wins it.
Oh,
Max
Oh!
second.
Oh.
Checo
That
third.
Claire.
And then my dark horse is going to be Seb. I think Aston Martin has a weekend that they just pull out of the bag.
I like the sound of that.
That's
Only,
I like
deep
that.
set.
only because
I was actually, I was kind of leaning towards.
look,
I was kind
only
of,
because it is Singapore. It's the first time they've been back in a
I
while.
know.
New cars,
Right.
and we're on a street circuit.
I was-
street circuit that can rain.
In the rain.
Anything
Yeah.
can happen, and it's about being at the right place
Sure
at the right
can.
time. Now,
I was-
whether Aston Martin screws Vettel over for Lance, that's a different story.
no, they're not going to do that because Lance will crash the car.
You know, yeah.
Well, we're gonna have
Lance, are you okay
Renault-
with staying
what
on
is
these
it, spin-
tires? No.
Crashgate,
Yeah, I'm
Crashgate
gonna have crash
22.
gate too. Strollgate.
Yeah.
Strollgate.
Oh,
Anyways,
Okay.
no. That's what's
no,
gonna happen.
because if I had to say, if you went complete dark, like Fred's, I know Fred's a dark horse, but like if I had to go like sit down the Seb route where you're
Yeah.
kind of going, which is like that's the true definition of a dark horse.
Really.
I would go Valtteri.
I mean,
Because
Sure.
I don't think the Alfa Romeo's that bad on this track.
no, and
But the
no.
well, yeah, oh no, but
I
see,
shouldn't
but
say
see
the Alfa Romeo, the sub or whatever.
But
it is.
see,
No.
this is also a track where Joe could actually come out of his.
Yeah, I mean
coming
Joe,
to form, too.
Joe,
Well,
but
right,
but Joe,
right.
Joe's
Speaking
He
of-
just got
speaking of-
signed
he just
too.
got
He has all
re-signed.
sorts
I know.
of confidence with
yeah,
them.
we'll go to that right after this. But
Yeah,
I think the weather. The only thing with the weather is if it does like I'm not saying it's monsoon season, but if it monsoons down, they're gonna red flag it because the track will just flood out.
Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully it doesn't do that, and it's just it's somewhat manageable if it rains.
Yeah.
So I prefer that it doesn't rain, but we'll see. But Seb, that's a bold pick, bold dark horse pick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Got to be different.
Got to be different.
So, I mean,
I really like Sean's picks. I was just like, wow, he's really mind reading me right now. Like Fred.
I mean, the pick that I could see just absolutely shocking everyone is Russell wins it. Just the only problem
he still has yet
the
to
only thing
win.
is he lurks, and that's the thing. Once the front runners have a problem, he's there.
I mean, that's what. I mean, unfortunately for the Mercedes, that's all it can really do right now.
Right,
is
right.
lurk. So I mean,
It's
which
lurk,
is fine.
yeah.
It's it's fine. It's just I don't think this. I just don't think this track's going to be the Mercedes track.
No, I don't.
No, it's too bumpy, and it's gonna. The porpoising's gonna show up again.
Yeah,
for
that's
them.
it's
Achilles heel.
It's Achilles heel because it just robs the car of track time, of time on the track, and not. I mean, absolute time, speed.
Yeah,
it does impact that.
I saw a thing they were talking about. Well, because of championship points, and we're getting down to it. Which one is more valuable for Mercedes going into 23? Do you just sit at third?
No.
And take the added aero and CFD time, or do you go for second and take the more prize money?
Well, I don't think they got. Honestly, I don't think they're bringing any more updates.
No. I'm talking for.
I think this is it.
I'm talking for next year though, because you're at this point where you kind of have to decide about next year.
Well, no, I know, but they're close enough now that they could, even with the current car, their strategy and their car reliability is better than Ferrari's.
The reliability is the best amongst the paddock.
Right. So because Red Bull struggled at the beginning of the year.
Correct. Yes.
So, but if I'm them, I try and catch Ferrari. But they're not going to throw any more. They're not going to throw any more. They're not throwing anything more at it because now all these races are all flyaway races.
No. I'm not talking about development for this car this year. I'm talking for next year. If you the way the regulations work, you either can get second and get more prize money, but you have a cost cap.
The top three teams, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter.
So then, do you just stay third and get the extra wind tunnel and CFD time?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. I think to them, if finishing second is I know what you're saying.
Okay.
But I think they know what the problem is. Okay.
They're just enduring through it.
I think that's what I mean. Because if they could reset and go back to the first car that rolled out in Barcelona back in the day, it was a better car than what they had. They ended up with once they moved to that no side pod thing. That's where all the problems came through.
I think they moved to it because they didn't find any benefit with running the extra.
I know, but I think what happened is the no side pods. The no side pod thing that they're running, I think the porpoising's is made worse because of that. I just don't see to these teams, these high end teams, the top three teams. It's incremental on the amount of wind tunnel time that they're going to get if they finish third versus second. To them, it's incremental. From a prestige standpoint, they want to finish as high up as they can. That's how I like, because that's more money back into the coffers for them.
Right. But
that's just
what I'm still hung up on.
But you're also here's the other.
Still
go ahead,
research
Nate.
and development. There's still more research and development coming in third versus more added more prize money coming in second place.
I agree, but when you have
it's a hangover year. Might as well.
When you're with Ferrari and Mercedes, it's as high up as you can finish. They don't want to look like it's a corporate image thing.
Well, their goal was first, and they're not going to get first. So if you're not going to come in first,
if that's the case,
what is more beneficial to them?
Right, but if that's the case, right, They would have
Right.
packed it in earlier, but they didn't pack it in because Ferrari kept shooting themselves in the foot.
I know. Yeah.
Right,
that's the
but I mean,
style.
has Mercedes really done anything differently? I haven't really
No,
seen
but
anything differently operationally.
I'm just thinking that they're still going to want to try and get Lewis a win.
The only thing that I can
No.
see Mercedes or anyone in that camp that has to prove anything is Lewis has to try and beat George, which is a stretch.
Right, but I think
That is a huge
Lewis
stretch,
wants to
too.
maintain a win a season thing. I can honestly tell you, I see that coming up. I'm Brazil. I think is where they're gonna win. Outside of the final, when you come up the hill and you go up the straightaway there, that's where the car will, porpoise.
Right.
The rest of the way on that track, the car is good. The car will be good.
Even though it's a lot of high speed turns.
I just think that car probably that's the
Right.
one. I think that's the one track where that car is gonna shine.
I think all of Sector
And
1
at
is
that point, Max is like, whatever.
like, oh, yeah, right. Like, okay, enjoy your win.
So we go to Singapore, then we go to Japan, right?
Yeah.
Red Bull's gonna win.
Which I'm excited for
Red Bull
Japan.
is gonna definitely try and win there because it's Honda.
Yes.
Okay, that's a given.
Yeah.
Okay, then
USA.
Coda.
Yep.
All right, so they're gonna try and win Coda because is that not the Red Bull Grand Prix of the United States, or is that just MotoGP? Because in MotoGP it used to be the Red Bull US Grand Prix.
I don't know.
So they're gonna want to win there,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mexico, Checo can win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, already a dream season for Checo, and then a win at home would just cap everything off.
And then Abu Dhabi, Latifi wins.
The GOAT. That was a way if we're gonna go.
You're
So,
2 for 2.
I see what you're saying about the
Okay.
thing with Mercedes, but I think if they can steal second place, they'd steal second place. That's just, and then that way they can say it wasn't a washout. But
Yeah.
because I already think they know what they got to do for next year. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty.
So, and there's a lot of permutation as to how Max can win. It's just, if he wins, he's one step closer. That's all. I mean,
well, he can I think finish second to Leclerc the next 2 races and win.
oh, okay.
I think that's how
so,
it works or something
I mean,
like that.
right.
So
So,
it's
I
not-
mean, this could be over by the time he gets to Coda. It could end at Coda.
If it doesn't, I think Max would have to win at Japan to get the championship. But if he doesn't do it by Japan, it will happen at Coda.
Okay. All right.
Just with the way
It's a high probability the next 3 races he's gonna win.
and this is assuming
And
he doesn't retire the next 3 races.
right. And
Right.
if Leclerc DNFs this weekend
Yes.
and Max wins,
Yes.
it's over.
If
Championship's over.
If Max wins and Leclerc finishes, it's either
like
8th or 9th,
ninth, right.
depending on fast lap. It's
Right.
it's a 22-point spread that
Yeah.
he has to beat. He has to overcome.
How many points is Max ahead by now?
Like 125.
100.
No,
Okay.
but mathematically, he has. To, it's a 22-point differential that he
stay
has.
alive.
That Leclerc can't lose more than 22 points. Otherwise, it's over.
It's over. Oh, okay. That's the cushion for the end of the
Yes.
season.
So
I
so
gotcha.
if Max
All right.
wins, that's 25 points, and 8th is
Right.
2 points, or yeah.
And if he runs if he throws a hat trick over the next 3 races, he wins it. Max. No
I
matter
mean, he
where.
should, right?
It's,
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's the pressure's all on Leclerc to not
He can't mess up.
to not mess up. Yeah.
Pressure's on Ferrari.
Oh, they'll mess up.
Yeah.
That's who I'm more worried about. I'm not really worried about Leclerc.
Yeah, there could be an incident in the pit lane.
So.
We forgot the tires.
Well,
Massa
not so much.
2008.
No. What was he? Who got stuck with the? Valtteri, the wheels frozen on the car. Get out of the car.
Oh, at Monaco.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was
So-
Tom Holland's fault.
So, anyways, it should be good. I'm kind of psyched to back at this track. I love it
Yeah.
under the lights. It's awesome. So, it'll
It's
be
one of my
fun.
favorite rounds.
So,
So other F1 news. Guan Yu Zhou Guan Yu re-signs at Alpha for next year.
I think that's good.
Um,
I mean, look, right now,
great signing.
When's it, we all know Audi's going to buy him. Is buying the team.
Is that what they're going for?
That's the team.
Okay.
All right. That no one's announced it. That's the team
Okay.
because they want the wind tunnel and the whole deal.
Yeah.
So I don't.
The unofficial official.
So
announcement.
and Valtteri's on what, a 3-year deal?
Yeah.
2-year.
2.
Was
So
it?
I was going to say
he'll have
it's
to
at least
renegotiate after
All
next
right,
year.
So
I think.
and Joe's on a 1-year deal.
Yes.
All right. So if it's Audi in 2024,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, bye-bye. Those two. Valtteri would be the only one that sticks around. I don't think Joe will stick around.
No, because I think you then have to go for a German driver on the grid, which
Well, there isn't a German driver.
your only one is Mick,
Is Mick, but Mick is a Ferrari.
Mick.
Mick is still with Ferrari.
as of today,
Right.
September 27th.
There is
2020.
there are several rumors.
Two.
There are several rumors right now that Mick will be retained by Ferrari, but move to the hypercar program.
Oh, that would be so
Okay,
sick.
not that I know, not that I want him out of F1, but that doesn't sound like a bad deal. But that's
No.
also because we're sports car fans too. That's a complete different.
So that's
angle
different.
on it.
But there
I
is
would
there
like-
is
I wouldn't
there
mind
is
that.
there is a couple rumors floating around about that. I'm not. I mean,
Look,
I think
great,
the kid wants to stay in Formula One, but
Yeah.
honestly,
He does.
with
He does.
Joe signing up, the only way he's going to stay is he's staying at Haas.
Correct.
And the
AlphaTauri.
no,
Yes.
no,
I'm still listening to Marcus Ericsson because guess what? He's still right.
Yeah, because
He hasn't
is
guessed
he have
anything
Schumacher
wrong.
going to AlphaTauri?
He has
Yes.
Schumacher going
because
pairing with Sonoda.
Yeah. Note on Sonoda.
what-
Sonoda did
the-
resign.
No, Sonoda resigned, but
Yeah.
I'm just
But the domino that has to fall is
so-
Pierre Gasly has to go to Alpine.
okay. So let me just throw this wild card in. I'm not a
Yeah.
I'm not
No, I wanna
I'm
hear
not
it.
a
I wanna
super
hear it.
fan of this, but the flavor of the moment right now at Williams is Logan Sargent. I have no idea why.
Right, and
It's
that's
going to be Nick DeFries.
And that's still contingent on
Now,
him finishing fourth
if-
in F2.
if Gasly goes to Alpine,
Yes.
why would, if you're AlphaTauri, wouldn't you sign Nick DeVries? Or is he just stuck on a Mercedes deal? Because
I think he's stuck in the Mercedes deal, but he is.
But then
tested.
why is there also he's been speculated at Alpine?
I think his contract lets him talk to anyone.
Okay, so if I'm him, I would rather be at AlphaTauri or I'd rather be at Alpine than at Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I'm kind of thinking I think that I don't understand the whole. I don't really get the Logan Sargent thing because I know he qualified. I guess he's got a super license now. Is that
He has a super license as of today, September 27th, 2022.
Okay.
Because if he falls
And-
out of fourth place in the championship, he doesn't get it.
and it's like one race left? Is it Abu Dhabi? They're racing at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is Formula 3 coming to the U.S.?
I think so.
Is Formula 2 coming to the U.S.?
I thought it was a full weekend, along with like W Series or
I know
something.
W Series.
W Series is. Oh, we got to get to that too.
What happened
Because
there?
Jeannie Chadwick, we'll get to the general racing tidbits.
yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I'm just if I'm DeVries, I mean he holds the cards. I mean the big thing right now is whether or not Gasly's leaving.
That's what I'm saying. That's the big domino I'm waiting to fall. And then what happens is,
I don't know. I mean in two I don't know.
no, I hear you.
I mean if I'm AlphaTauri, do I really want Mick and Yuki?
No, because you need
a
that's
solid-
the only thing I
you
don't
need a solid-
like about
You need a solid.
Marcus Ericsson's thinking. Because guess what? You're going to have 2 wrecked cars throughout the season with those 2. You are.
Well, you need a car that you need someone that can finish in the points throughout the season. Granted, Mick's been finishing in the points, but I don't know.
But I mean, like 1-2 races.
Doesn't say.
F3 is done.
They're done, huh?
Their season's
So
over.
for some
And
reason,
then
Oh, because
doesn't race until Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
F2 and F3 don't leave Europe.
The Brazilian one,
it's weird.
Drugovic, he won the F3 championship.
Yeah.
So where's he going? Because if he doesn't get a ride, he's out. He's doing the Piastri thing.
I hate that.
That
so
rule
much.
sucks.
Yeah.
I like Drugovic. He's a good driver.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
hey, in Toto's world, we don't need any more cars on the grid. This is where the problem comes. Drugovic has the money, okay, and he's not a he's not a Mazepin.
No.
The kid's quick.
and he's gotten better too.
He's quick.
Yeah.
And then so Ferrari is this is what gets me even more riled up. So Ferrari's supposedly going to bring Schwartzman in for an FP1 deal.
Isn't he doing it at Coda?
It could be. I don't know. But they didn't bring when Mick was in the program, never brought Mick in.
No.
No.
They just must not see any pace out of him then.
I don't know. I'm kind of I think what Gunther's
No, I thought Mick did an AlphaTauri run or a Haas run.
did he? I don't.
I thought he did one of those.
But why wouldn't they put him in the Ferrari and let him just do the Ferrari? That would be a better.
Because I think he did a couple test days at Fiorano.
I don't know. So I don't know. I guess right now we got to wait on Gasly.
Yeah.
That has to be coming down soon.
It has to be.
I think it's going to be where Gasly and where Ricciardo fall.
Well,
Ricardo, I would like to see him
I think
go to Haas.
I think Ricciardo's waiting on Gas. I think they're all waiting on Gasly. That's what they're waiting on.
Imagine being the person at the poker table.
See, his problem right now is if he stays at AlphaTauri, he's there for another 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. The AlphaTauri driver.
Right. Yuki's on a 1 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if let's just say Porsche and Andretti come in, Yuki's a Honda guy.
Right.
He's not going to be there for Porsche.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I can see Gasly sticking around for a year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then if Herter accumulates the points,
Yeah.
next season he could.
Mm-hmm.
He's because does he get points for this? Is he doing FP at Coda or no?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they just bring Pato and Herta down and just run them?
That's right. Mexico. I think.
No. At Coda, because Pato's. I think the whole family's more in San Antonio.
Texas? Oh,
than they are.
Gotcha.
I think they moved out of Mexico.
Mexico
think for
City?
some reason. I think there was business reasons, and his dad moved up to San Antonio.
Lived in the U.S. more than he
He's in the U.S. more, and I think his family's here. I mean, he's got family down in Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be awesome if you ran in Mexico. I mean, if
Either
McLaren
one,
just
yeah.
ran Herter at Coda and ran Pato at
Mexico,
it'd be fine. Just
Right.
run them.
The only
Yeah,
thing is
both
that
on track at the
Because
that
can we all
gets- that
see?
gets
Can
you-
we just see what they can do? That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Because they've
crushed Mazepin's time anywhere.
the super license points only gets you 1 point for
You're right, because somebody
however many
didn't somebody do this
FP1s.
back in the day? They ran 10 FP1 sessions. Somebody ran 10 FP1 sessions,
Yeah,
and I think it was Valtteri.
Yeah, regardless, but for whatever it requires right now,
Yeah.
they would have to run a whole season to do only
there was
FP1s like that.
there was some honestly, and I don't think Herta's contract would allow this, but there was some Formula America's regional race that scores points for super license. It was
Formula India. I know exactly what you're talking about.
is this
The
in
F4
India? Is this the one
Yeah.
Connor Daly ran in India? Back in the Connor Daly ran this.
Yeah, just all he has to do is just finish in the top four.
He could have went for the
And he'll have enough points.
triple header for the whole weekend, and he could have got all the points. That's how
Yeah.
stupid it is. But
Yeah.
I don't think his contract allows for that. Although it does work out for him, though.
I mean, yeah.
It does work out for him because he's. Well, we'll get to it. Anyways, okay, we'll get to it. So I don't want to talk. We'll get Mr. Gomes back on, and I appreciate Alex filling in for me last week while I was away. So we'll get Alex on. We can talk super license.
Yeah, no, he was really excited about his big win. That was the coolest picture I saw on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
His
it was a great picture.
fist flying through the air.
No, it was good. It was exciting.
The only other two notes that I have for this weekend is McLaren is running a special livery.
Yes.
And F1's announced that for next year they're going to do 6 sprint races. They haven't said where but they're just going to do 6, and it's going to be from 2023 and onwards.
Okay.
So it's sticking around.
Stand by. Yeah, stand by.
Hold on. Oh God, I hope it's not Las Vegas.
It's
God.
It's supposedly going to be at tracks that favor overtaking.
Okay.
Which I don't know why they do that, because if it favors overtaking, then that just means that the grid is going to sort itself out before the race.
Yeah. I liked it at Imola.
I liked it there too.
Yeah. So,
but everyone's like, no, it's too tight of a track.
We'll get into it as we get into a slower part of the season.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to some general racing news. Probably the biggest event or news story of the season of this week broke on Monday. Jimmy Johnson, taking a step back, and will be cherry picking events.
Yes,
good for him.
Not racing full time.
Not racing full time.
But
still racing
marquee races.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think if he does IndyCar, if I throw this out there, he'll probably want to do the Indy 500. So I can see him doing something that Montoya did, which was he ran the road course, did some and go to the test at Texas, and do that. I don't see him racing Texas, and then Indy, but I could see him keeping his toe in that. He's definitely the sports car prototype racing's kind of bit him a bit. Could see him doing that. He's definitely interested in doing the Garage 56 entry for next year.
Oh, that's probably
at Le Mans.
That's probably
he has to be the driver list there.
I have to
because Hendrick Motorsports is basically putting together the car.
My thing is, this is what I'm just going to go 3. I'm going to give you 3 drivers. And somebody made a rare appearance in sports car racing 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at Indianapolis. Jeff Gordon participated in the Porsche Cup race.
That's right.
At Indianapolis.
How about that?
Okay, so
he didn't win that, did he?
No.
No.
He just ran, it was him. It was awesome because it was
running some laps.
It was him and who's his? Who's his?
Ray Evernham.
Ray Evernham came and did it. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, the Rainbow Warriors reunite.
Yeah, no, that was cool. But I mean, and they were running under a Hendricks Porsche banner on the car. So, I have to think that I could see this lineup being Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and I'm going to go Mike Rockenfeller. Because Rockenfeller's been testing the car everywhere.
Well, and he also just has the knowledge of that track.
Right, and former Le Mans winner with Audi.
Yeah.
He's safe pair of hands. This is they're not there to they're there to demonstrate.
Yes.
Not to race.
But I think it's an eye towards possibly filling the gap with that GTE Pro is going to create a void in. Meaning, could it be NASCAR as its own class?
That would be freaking nuts.
That would be. They have to be faster than GT3 though.
That's why that's my suggestion is why would you have Jeff Gordon in a Porsche that is almost a G? Those Porsche Cup cars are GT3 cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not the
they're not the full
blown GTD Pro car.
No.
But it's the full blown GTD AM car or close to it. It's very close to it.
Okay. It's the exact same. The only difference is the drivers.
Yeah, isn't it the ABS? Does one have ABS and one doesn't? GTE Pro didn't have ABS. Or did it?
GTE Pro.
Right.
I don't think
had ABS.
Had ABS.
No.
GTE AM had ABS.
Yeah. However,
GT3.
What about GTD, which is essentially GT3?
I think it's just the same across.
Okay.
It doesn't.
It's just that GTD.
I think it's purely the lineup.
GTE Pro is Pro.
Yeah.
Except Cooper McNeil can run whatever class he
Yes,
wants
he
to
can
run.
do whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so that's just a wild stab at that one. Yeah. But I just find it odd that Jeff Gordon all of a sudden decides to do a Porsche Cup race out of nowhere.
For anyone that's confused at what we were referencing, we'll talk sports car and driver rankings and what differentiates.
Oh yeah,
that
that's a whole nother off-season thing.
Anyways, that's why that comes
but
around.
there's a anyways. So see that happen. So Jimmy's going to be off doing different things. He was at Goodwood at the Revival.
Did you see that?
Yes, he was driving a big ass Ford Falcon. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was so
and then
cool.
Scott Dixon and Dario were driving this Jaguar. It was wild. It's like I was trying to watch as much of the stream as I could, and it was amazing. There was some great races. I just love those guys slinging those vintage cars around. Fantastic stuff. So that was Jimmy. In IndyCar, so that creates an opening at Ganassi.
I mean, for road courses, do you put Tony Kanaan in there?
Well, do you just take? Well, so
Pelot's back,
Dixon's back.
Yes,
and Ericsson's back. So now is it? Yep. Now do you just fill the void and put? I would just put TK in the car if he wants to do the full season.
Why not? I mean, you're going to have...
Or...
Or...
Do you go for the GOAT?
Oh!
Nicholas Latifi.
Are you oh, God. You guys.
What if the GOAT runs the road courses and Kanaan runs the ovals?
And Jimmy runs the ones he wants.
Well, he would. Oh, then they'd run six cars at the 500.
Oh God, no! I'm saying Kanaan. No, between the three of them, they split the races they want to do.
No, because Tony wants to run 500.
He will run like the one car or something like he did.
He has no problem running the one race, but my feeling was let him run the ovals with the GOAT run the road courses. Or could the goat go to Juncos?
Oh, whoa! I didn't think of that. Yeah. But my point to TK is he runs one race.
Yeah, but he's competitive.
And guess what? No, not just that, but he finished third.
I know.
In one race, he did.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, he's still in driving condition. He's run the stock cars in Brazil too. Yeah. With his buddy Rubens.
Taking out people in pit lane.
Was that him?
No.
Oh.
No.
So, and so I don't know that just opens the door because is it Linus Lindquist? Is that his name? The kid that won the Indy Lights Championship. Yeah. So like it's like a big thing with him as to what he's gonna do next.
Yeah. But adding on to Jimmy Johnson, though.
Huh?
Adding to Jimmy Johnson's thing, I think he's going to do the double.
That's
the Daytona 500.
Yeah, they were talking
about
the
Indy 500.
Yeah, they were talking about that.
Did I see this right that they're cutting, like the championship prize of IndyCar? Or Indy Lights, sorry.
They're yes, and I would recommend if anyone wants to listen to it. Marshall Pruitt did a fantastic job of breaking that down on his last IndyCar podcast. He talked about that specific thing. There was, and actually, I think so Anderson Promotions, who used to run the Indy Lights series and had the thing. I mean, I have no idea where they came up with the money, but they always came up with this big prize dollar. Yes. Now they're running some other series, I think like Formula 2000 or something that they're in charge of. Right. And I think the prize fund there is literally $200,000 less than what the winner got in Indy Lights. So you're better off. You were almost better off winning the Formula 2000 championship. Because you're supposed. I don't know. I have to go back and listen to it, but he did break it down. But yes, there is some quirk to that thing.
Okay.
So, which is
just from a headlines perspective, it seemed
it
concerning.
did.
If it's not as bad, then
because there is if Lindquist can't get a ride in IndyCar, he is allowed to carry that forward. So
Yeah.
the other thing that came out today was one of the
Stingray?
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I want to see him.
Yeah, I do too. But I this is my thing with him. Like, it's the same thing with Kyle Kirkwood. It's like one more year of Indy Lights. I mean, this is like his first year in Indy Lights. He almost wins the championship. I'm like, what are you going to do? You're going to run like a part-time schedule in IndyCar and that's it?
Yeah.
Well,
because he's only run open wheels, open wheel cars. So I don't really see him fitting into somebody's prototype team unless it's like an LMP3 car. But that doesn't serve his purpose. Yeah.
Okay, but Sean, look at it this way. Just if you get the opportunity to drive IndyCar, I would just grab it, because right then and there's your drive, there's your experience in IndyCar, and they can only blossom from there.
Right. Unless he's trying to get the full season. If he's going for the full season at Juncos, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But like, some of these kids oversell themselves.
Well, and that's the thing too. I think a lot of people are getting rushed up and rushed through, and this goes for a lot of series.
A lot of series.
Yeah. A lot of series drivers.
But it's
all
not
over the place.
Well, and I'm not talking that like you have to just like fill like, what is it? I'm not saying don't promote, right? Because you obviously want kids to, or you want new people in the sport, or in easiest ways to expand the grid, Toto. But you.
I mean, trust me, IndyCar would love to get some more cars
I think it's
the
level below some of the major feeder series.
Yeah.
That top level of it before you
Indy
it's between like F2 and F3. Like that's like the top of the feeder series, right?
Well, I'd say F2, F3, and Indy Lights. I'd say those three. Those three are comparable.
But I think what I heard, I forget who said it in the motorsports world, but they said basically the series below, you're rushing kids up that ladder.
Well, yeah, they are. It's just where a lot of guys get washed out in Europe is they get to F3 and then they don't have enough cash to go to F2, and then it's like, I'll go run sports cars. But I mean, I don't know, whatever. So, but I mean, he's progressed. Stingray Rob's progressed. I just don't know what's another year in Indy Lights. I mean, he's obviously got money, because in the Marshall Pruitt article, he said he's well funded in terms of sponsorship. So, whether that's someone on his management team or his family is very good at getting the money out there. I mean, that's the thing. I guess the big thing, kind of recircling back, and we had talked about this a couple of weeks ago, because I think our hot driver at the end of the year was David Malukas. Could Malukas go to Ganassi?
Yes. Could.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But
I mean, his big race was Gateway. I mean, he could have really brought it to Joseph Newgarden if he had a few more laps.
Right.
He just didn't work the outside.
No, but I think the last
race.
half of the season, I think he was one of the hottest drivers in IndyCar. So
absolutely.
So I mean, would he be like, honestly? That's a young guy that Chip might take a flyer on. He's got a year under his belt, and he was competitive. And I'll say this: guys that come out of Coin that are quick, Pillow, Grosjean. I mean, Sato. I mean, for whatever reason, guys come out of there and they're competitive. So, could that happen? Yeah. I mean, the other thing is like somebody at he's safe right now, but like next year he's on the hook is Jack Harvey at Rahal. So, I mean, my thing is, if I'm Stingray, it's like, why don't I just go back to Indy Lights, run there, wait and see what happens next year? Because I think if he can't step it up, he's out. And, and then I think at some point, I think Graham's going to probably call it a day.
Yeah.
And it's just, and I mean, you think he's young, but he's got a family. He wants to run the business for his dad. So, I mean, at some point, would he do that and go off race sports cars like his dad did after, things like that. So you could do that.
He's waiting on his Indy 500
to win it.
Yeah, that's what I think he's waiting on, because he's not going to be a championship.
The biggest problem with Rahal, not Graham, but RLL.
Yeah.
They never get hot until after Indy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, they
Yeah,
never
that's
get
the
hot
thing.
until after. Like the end of the season, they're always like the up and coming team.
Well,
It's like, where you guys
And then
been?
Christian Lundgaard has all these finishes.
Right. So I mean, but I think the guy there that's on the hook is definitely Harvey. So there's opportunities there. So,
But also with David Malukas, he should have been the Indy 500 Rookie of the Year. Jimmy Johnson got it just because he's Jimmy Johnson and crashed.
Yeah,
And
we all know that.
So,
So,
but the highest finishing rookie at Indianapolis this year was David Malukas.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all. Yeah.
I just want to clear the air with that.
Right, we all agree. I think we talked about that earlier in the season.
Yeah.
We did.
I think the right now, I think as we go into the weekend, we're hoping for a good Petit Le Mans weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mother Nature seems to be going to play some severe havoc with it starting on Thursday night into Friday.
You're right. Hanging out with Ian.
The what?
Hanging out with Ian. Hurricane Ian.
Hurricane Ian. Yeah. So
The contingency plan is if it's a washout on Saturday, they'll try and run it on Sunday.
But it won't start until after one. It'll probably start at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, yeah,
because they can't
have
run between 10 and 12.
Yeah.
There's a local ordinance.
Yeah. Which
It's kind of like Lime Rock, where it's all day Sunday at Lime
fine.
Rock, which is fine.
I mean, it's only 10 hours, so
Yeah, but they also can push to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because there's
they
the
just
prototype
eat in-
test. The only thing is they got to make sure they got enough marshals,
yeah. But
So,
and
that's-
they're just eating into LMDH testing.
which honestly,
It's not going to be the end of the world.
If it's 2
but-
days versus 3 days, it's fine. It's basically get the cars out running. It's more of a dog and pony show for the media, is what
Right.
it is. So, no, it is. I mean, they're
No,
not.
I know
I
what you
mean,
mean, yeah.
like some guy, they're not. Somebody's not going to throw. If somebody throws one off the track down there, you're never going to see that guy again. So I'm, but I'm hoping because I mean, Wednesday I think this start it all like. Today they all loaded in. They started loading in. I think the WeatherTech team's loading tomorrow. But like on track tomorrow is Porsche, IMSA prototypes, the prototype challenge class, the Michelin Pilot Series, the Mazdas.
It's a big weekend.
I think Porsche Cup's there too. So I think the only one that's not there, and I might be wrong on this, is the Lamborghinis. I think they finished. I'm not 100% certain.
Maybe.
I go back on. It's whatever. It's a big weekend. There's a lot going on between now and tomorrow and Friday. It's a very full calendar. Thursday, the WeatherTech cars hit the track. 2 practice sessions, one in the afternoon, one at night. Friday they hit the track. I think just for qualifying, and then Saturday's the race. Now, if it rains Saturday, it rains Friday, that throws that. And we unfortunately, Road Atlanta is not the best track and training,
Nope.
which we saw a couple years ago.
2015, the Porsche GT car won
And
overall.
if the place gets saturated with rain on Friday and Saturday, I don't see how they're going to run Sunday because if you go off, it's. I mean, you can have a big accident there in many ways. Just like not on the track, but when you get off the track. So I think in that instance, you could see them pushing it to Monday just to let the place drain. But hopefully, if the storm goes through, it may hook just enough south of there, which would be great. They won't get as much rain, so hopefully, but it's not a good situation anyway. It's a hurricane rolling through Florida, and through Georgia and South Carolina. So that should be interesting. BMW did the interview, saw their drivers, which was Connor D. Filippi, Nick Yellowly, Philip Eng,
And Augustus
Farfus.
Yeah.
So that's
With
with the prototypes with Colton Herter in for the Daytona 24 hours, and somebody else is going to be in there.
Yeah, someone else, but Herta is the main one.
I'd like to see that driver be Pato.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they won the
that'd be
LMP2 this year.
Right. I would like to see that, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% certain McLaren will let him do it. But anyways.
Yeah.
So, but Colton's definitely in. So, is BMW coming to Formula One?
No.
Oh, All right, just checking.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. I was gonna say not.
Yeah.
Probably not yet.
And I think some folks missed this a couple of weeks ago, but I give another shout out to Trackhouse. But Justin Marks took the Trans Am win at Watkins Glen. Over the weekend, he set the track record in the rain, or he did something crazy like that, and then took the win. I guess him and Chris Dyson had a ballot and a half. So good on Justin Marks getting out there and mixing it up in those big hot rods. So good for him.
It wouldn't be sports car racing without a little bit of dealing with the courts. Racing Team Netherlands is going to withdraw from Petit Le Mans.
Right.
They are currently sitting second in the points of LMP2.
And their erstwhile team owner or team funder, Fritz Van Erd.
Yep, owner and driver.
Is involved in a bit of a...
He's involved in ongoing personal situation.
Yes. It involves money laundering.
Yes.
Now,
not that
it's very bizarre. He's on the fringes of this.
He's a suspect, not
the
one.
He's a suspect in the sense that he's some kind of witness. This is it's very bizarre. But he's sort of caught up, and he's like it's a tangle, and he's caught up with it.
He's not. It's understood that he's not involved, and this is from Sports Car 365. He's understood he's not involved in either his sports car racing team or his Dutch supermarket chain, which is Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Where he's the CEO of Jumbo.
Personal sponsor of Max Verstappen. They do.
Also driver.
Rinus VK.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Jumbo cycling team that competes in the Tour de France, which some of my friends are deeply disturbed might not be back next year. If this, hopefully it's just he's caught up in it because somebody he's dealing with is caught up in it. Because European courts are very, they throw a big net out, and you may not be doing anything, and you might get caught up in it. So it's it was probably more, his name came up. So see what happens. He does. I did hear over the weekend that he that the attorney that's representing him is well regarded. So hopefully it's hopefully there is no nefarious activity going on his end, and because he is such a enthusiast of the sport, and he drives. He's very good.
Yeah,
he's a good gentleman driver. So unfortunately, they won't be at Petit Le Mans this weekend. Nope. Reese will be back. Very excited.
Yes.
With a star-packed lineup. James Collado. Who's in the car? Collado.
That's a star-studded lineup. You can't even remember.
I know. Jesus. I had it. It just can't. It went in and out of my head. It's like Snapchat.
Reese is a
they got
family favorite.
It's James Collado and oh god, it's not Balzan. No, is it? No, Physical. No, it's somebody. It was
Giancarlo Fisichella.
Well, he races for AF Corsa in Italy, so and in Europe. Maybe. There we go. Christian's got it.
Daniel Serra.
Yes.
James Collado, and Davide Rigon.
Oh, Davide Rigon. Very good. And Daniel Serra, just for a fun fact here, and before Rich Hemingway calls me an old bastard, but Daniel Serra's dad is Chico Serra, and Chico Serra raced Formula 2, Formula 3 in Europe, and he is responsible for bringing Ayrton Senna to Europe.
Ooh.
Just to let you know. So, Rich... There you go. Calls me an old bastard, and then never mind. I won't talk about the picture I sent him of the IMSA GTP prototype that destroyed the track record at Lime Rock, and he had no clue what it was. So it's pretty funny. He goes, "What's that?" I go,
"No mention of it."
It was a GTP car, Rich, that blew the world away. Sorry.
That's the Toyota I've ever seen.
Yeah. So.
Other two notes that I got is V8 Supercars is coming up with Bathurst in 2 weekends' time.
Very exciting.
Supercars.
Oh, sorry, Supercars. It's not
Supercar.
V8.
Right. Anyways, also big news out of there, and this will be fantastic news if this happens. Shane van Gisbergen is going to potentially NASCAR.
Yeah.
Somebody's going, well, he can qualify. He qualifies for a super license. If you've ever seen Shane Van Gisbergen in Prince Period? The guy could not fit in a Formula One car if he tried it. It's not his fault. The guy is a monster. But a NASCAR car? Be awesome.
I'd love to see his car control in that series.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Although he's been doing some rallying in Austria and New Zealand. And apparently his dad used to be a big rally enthusiast. So apparently it went quite well. So I'm like, love that guy. This guy's a beast.
And then
Speaking of beasts, Cooper McNeil. He's not running this weekend.
no, he's not.
Why? What happened?
He's decided to sit the race out, and they've put a full factory AMG Pro driver lineup in the car. I mean, I'll be honest. Cooper does a great job of hanging on in the Pro. I mean, I give him credit though.
Yeah,
he'll run whatever.
Yeah.
But I was kind of surprised because he actually has won this race quite a few times. And I just was kind of surprised that he wasn't going to run.
Yeah.
So, but they brought a serious lineup put in that car. So that should be interesting.
Yeah. And then the last note that I had, or at least on my end, is MotoGP is going to Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yes.
So
Yes.
just an out of the blue note there.
Oh, and there's one other.
Wait, so is Borat going to be the
Yes,
Grand
yes.
Marshal
Yeah,
there?
Grand Marshal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
My wife.
Easy.
Okay, all right.
One other note. It's obscure, but for you true race fans, an unfortunate thing. The Australian the Formula 5000 cars that they run.
Oh,
They're not going to run at Bathurst.
I know. That's
Safety
so
reasons.
Stupid. Oh, safety's an illusion.
Well, there was the guy that kind of leaped over the other guy
I know,
last year down there.
I know,
but
I know.
I'm like, damn.
those cars are awesome.
They should. I like Hinge's idea.
Is that
they
2
should
weeks?
run Indy cars there.
At Bathurst?
Are you nuts?
yeah. James Hinchcliffe brought the idea up. And
No,
was like,
I think he was. I think he was tongue in cheek on that because I think he and Rossi ran a supercar down.
Yeah,
there.
no, I know. I yeah, that was when they ran.
I mean, they said it was awesome,
Andretti,
but
whatever.
it was not.
IndyCar-esque.
I would prefer that they go to Gold Coast again. That would be awesome.
Yeah, they've been there. Yeah, that'd be cool.
But Bathurst, no. I don't.
No, not a
That's a
chance.
long way to go
Hey,
to
that-
wreck cars.
That's what iRacing is for.
Yeah, that's what our racing's for. But that's a long way to go for
God.
wrecking cars.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
I got nothing else.
nothing here. I think we're done. Next week we'll hopefully recap Petit Le Mans, Singapore Grand Prix, and the Demolition Derby at Talladega.
Yeah.
So,
Hell yeah, Ross Chastain. Hell yeah.
they have Bathurst and the Roval going to be on the same weekend.
Oh, that's a load of
that'll be
racing.
fun.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun. No, I mean
That's a load of good racing.
because
Yeah.
I'm waiting. Well, Saturday's going to be good because Marco's in the Xfinity race. So
Oh, right.
yeah, he broke bread with Dale Jr. down in Charlotte when he was down there for a seat fitting. Saw that. So
I think he's going to get a top 10. Marco Andretti.
if Marco gets a top 10, next thing you're going to see is Andretti Motorsports in the NASCAR. I'm not joking.
No, so I know.
'Cause
And you know what? They may
I-
even bring another manufacturer.
I
into
have
NASCAR.
I have a feeling that's where they're kind of leaning with this. Yeah, they're going to bring Dodge back.
Just look how good Marco Andretti did in SRX.
Well, that's what
He's a stock car driver.
That's
That's
what
the
everyone's
thing,
taught.
yeah.
That's what everyone's talking about right now.
Yeah.
So maybe Trackhouse could put him in the Project 91 car.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick.
It would be good. I'd like to see
Daytona
it.
500.
No,
on.
they.
Yeah, put
Oh
him-
no
put him on the 500. Why
Ju-
not?
Justin said that's not the race to do it. It's a crap.
Oh,
It's a
I know.
crap. It's a crapshoot.
I know, but it's
No,
big
you don't-
prize money. It's the most
Yeah,
prestigious race.
But you have to actually
Take a chance.
You have to actually
Yeah, you
qualify
have to
for the
qualify,
race.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we've had this debate before, but I just if I were Justin Marks, I would be kind of all in on. All right, who wants?
Yeah,
Project
I would
91
be
at
all
the
in bringing
500?
Mark Martin back and definitely qualifying for the race. I don't think
Oh.
I don't think putting Marco in that spot is a good idea.
Mark Martin would do.
How about,
an
how
amazing
about
job in that car.
he brings back Tony Stewart? Ryan, the Rocket brings the Rocket back for that. So
Hello,
anyways,
Newman.
Anyways, all right.
Nate, you got anything else?
You got anything else, Nate?
No, yeah. That's,
You want to promote
that's
any
it for me.
iRacing activities? Anything?
Oh well, Christian, we're going to Bristol tonight
Yes, we are. Are we
with some ARCA cars.
Are we on the dirt?
No,
No.
Is
no,
this? Is it? What series is this?
we race the ARCA cars.
No.
No,
But
no.
what group is this?
NRL,
Who?
NRL?
Is it
Nathan
this?
Racing Leagues.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
Nathan Racing League.
But
Okay,
because-
sorry.
because-
This is
because we
not.
run-
It's not the touring car.
No.
Okay, that
No.
is what.
No.
Are you guys on hiatus for that?
Yeah, we're in between seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But Nate's, because we're running ARC cars
Yes.
in Nate's league, we're
Yeah.
calling it NARCA.
Narca. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
just put an N in front of it, and it's just
And we're
Yeah.
based.
Yeah.
We're
it's not
just,
copyright. It's
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, not narcotics or anything like
No,
that.
I
so-
got you. All right. We had that in IMSA.
Yeah.
So,
save the best for last, huh, Christian?
yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
All right.
So
So we'll,
Nate runs the Old Spice car. I run the Wonder Bread car.
nice.
So
Nice.
Well, that's the way to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Does
So,
anybody run the Bojangles car?
where did we finish in that F4
Or
race?
Does
last
anyone
night?
run the
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Clyde
that was
Torkels from Smoked Stroker Race? What was that?
Burt Reynolds was in that movie.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
Clyde Torkels chicken barbecue, chicken pit barbecue or something. It was like this. I forget. Anyways, so
but
anyways,
yeah, Tuesday nights NRL racing. So if you want to get involved in that, let me or Nate know.
Yep, drop them a line.
And then TKC's next season is going to be starting up in what, like 2 weeks, I think, Nate?
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
The
not
schedule
sure.
is going to be dropping soon.
Yet to be posted, but
Yeah, if you want to get involved in that, you can also reach out to Matteo Giuliano.
And if anyone wants to, just on the podcasting front, if anyone wants to listen to a nice, reverent F1 podcast, it's actually pretty good. Chris and I are big fans of this.
Yeah.
It's two gentlemen from Australia, Box of Neutrals. Definitely give it a listen to. They drop on, their episodes drop typically Tuesday mornings.
Yeah.
Absolute hilarity.
Yeah.
So it's great stuff. So if you want to give that a look, we'll get a link. We're going to do a show later in the season. We're going to talk about favorite racing podcasts and things like that. So we're here to promote fellow podcasters because it's a big worldwide.
We're one big community.
And look,
One big community, and honestly,
Where
it's
everyone
good.
knows
It's good to
everyone.
listen to a lot of different podcasts
Yeah.
because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
It is.
It's better.
And look-
and honestly, it's better than watching the news these days.
sure is. I mean, because look, I mean, even Dinner with Racers. One of my favorite episodes is with AJ Allmendinger.
That's
he and I got to
that's-
give him a quick shout out. He came in fourth at Texas. All right,
Yeah.
with Colleague Racing
Right.
on the nines. So I had to drop that.
No, that's fine.
no. I mean, Dinner with Racers is probably the pinnacle
that
of
is the granddaddy of all racing podcasts,
Yeah.
and why a lot of these podcasts started.
Yeah.
So, they're the as they say the OG. Mm-hmm. Is that what they are?
The OG.
The OG. So
Yeah.
anyways, so that'll wrap up episode 21. Hope everyone has a safe thing. If anyone in the southeast is listening to this, hope you're all safe over the next couple of days of the rain and the wind. And look forward to Singapore and talking to everyone next week. Take care.
Good night.
Whoa, there's a giant lizard on the track.
Thank you guys for listening to the Redness Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.